So there it is, the Taitua Aboretum. And off we go. Bit of a double gate to stop the cattle getting out, if any get out. Nice day here today, walking the dog. She's coming with a walk with me as well. And here we go. As you can see around here, there's lots of big trees, mainly blue gum. Beautiful blue sky, green country. Plus a pulling dog. Some of these old pine trees occasionally lose a branch, they just fall off. Got to make sure you're not around when that happens. Come on, Belly. Get out of there. You get electric shock. Come on. Yeah, quite a big bush walk through here. It's quite nice. Forestry type area. It's a bit hard bringing a dog in because she wants to sniff everything that's available. Many walkways through the Arboretum. There's a road map there to sort of tell you which way to go. We'll go around this way today. A lot of people use this area as a family walk area, and a lot of people use it also as a training track for running, and that could be for trail running or just standard running. It's just a nice quiet area. It's cool, minimal traffic. When I say traffic, I mean foot traffic. Certain days you come here, there's nobody here. But when it's stormy and that here, it's quite common in here. Some of these massive trees actually just fall over because they're pretty tall. They go way up into the skies, and quite often you'll come in and see they've fallen down. But it's still nice. Have a look through. Just a nice area if you just want to sort of get in touch with nature. There is cattle in here occasionally, and a lot of bird life in here too. It's like a bird sanctuary in here. Dogs must be kept on a lead at all time, which is understandable because there's too many little things that they could chase. Coming up to a little wee area now, which is a little bit of a rest area for people. And of course you've got ducks that sort of hang around here. They're just sort of hanging about because of the pond and the water and stuff here, and they sort of like having a bit of a dabble. The water's a bit brown at the moment because it's sort of off season. But yeah, there's a drake, little New Zealand birds, nice little ducks. But yeah, quite a nice little bit of a place to have a look at. Okay, we shall continue. Take old doggy with me. Poor old Pooch, she wants to go somewhere else. I would imagine if I let her off the lead, she'll go straight in the water. Come on. Now we'll continue walking through the bush now. Coming into the shaded parts of the bush. I actually believe this area was actually a farm that was donated to the people of Hamilton, just for a public little walkway through, which was actually a nice donation. It's just one of these free things that we get to do in Hamilton, New Zealand. Coming up, and of course you get these little wee areas where you can sit down and just time out. And we'll flick around now down this roaded track here. Walking a pet in here is okay, but as I say, if she was off the lead, she would be chasing ducks, birds, chooks, probably get tangled up in an electric fence, so you've got to keep your dog on the lead. Highly unlikely we'll run into any cattle in here, because most of the cattle are all behind electric fences and stuff like that, so hopefully we don't run into anything today. Little wee waterways and things like that. But funny enough, even in New Zealand, these little walkways are quite common. And the good thing I like about it is they're not crowded, and the air's nice and clean, it's fresh, and it's nice and cool in here, which makes it pleasant to walk this morning. Obviously at the moment I haven't seen or come across any cattle, which is actually quite good. Coming into a dark area of the bush now. A bit of a shaded area. And it's still quite nice to walk through here. Some days you can come in here and there's like people everywhere, but generally early in the morning, most people will be getting up having breakfast about now. You'll only get the early birds that come out. Definitely see there's cattle in these paddocks because of the electric fence. I don't recommend touching those. I tested one day. It was the first and last time I touched an electric fence. Not recommended. Alright, let's give the dog a bit of a tune up. Sometimes if animals in here, they play up because they know there's other animals in here. And definitely got to keep them on a lead because they just run amok. Dogs sometimes can be a little bit unruly, so you just got to keep them in line. Yep, she's sniffing out a rabbit hole. In this area there's actually a lot of rabbits. Quite a few rabbits actually. We're going to drop down now into the Aboretum orchard. Nice little tree right in the middle of the footpath. Doesn't pay to walk in here at night because you'd probably walk smack bang into that if you didn't have a light. Now we sort of come onto the orchard area now, down into the cattle part. You see a bit of cattle sitting in the grass over there. Black bulls, I think they call them. And of course the good old Pahutakara tree of New Zealand, by that little flower, which we also know it's a Pahutakara. Nice little tree. They call it the New Zealand Christmas tree. Of course my dog decides to go right around it the other way. But yeah, it's a nice early morning stroll through here. And it's just nice to just observe nature as it really is. Nice little ball sitting there just catching a bit of morning sun. And as we come out of that, we'll have a look around. Flick around, another person's walking through. Come on. And back into the orchard. Yeah. We'll just have a look at the orchard here. Not that there's anything ready to eat, but there's a few citrus trees there, lemon tree, a few bits and pieces coming along, lime tree, orange tree there. Of course we have our plum trees, tangelo trees, Fijo trees. Not really the season at the moment, but always nice to just have a look at these things. I come down and have a bit of a pick when it's harvest time, but looks like everybody else does as well. Good old farmland coming through here, and there's another little wee rest hut where people can sort of stop and take five. Get these nice little sort of bush areas here where you can sit down under a tree and just enjoy the shade, do whatever it is you like down here. We'll go up through here now. A lot of roosters on this place, so you'll probably hear quite a few roosters calling out, because it's a haven for chooks. I've been down here so many times I almost know this place like the back of my hand now. But yeah, definitely a good track for running or jogging, but without the dog, because well, she wants to sniff and smell stuff, so I think for training purposes you've got to come down by yourself and do bits and pieces. But walking along now, coming down into some more areas which are trees and stuff like that. It's a sanctuary for birds, and it's quite common here to see piles of firewood stacked up over there because of the trees that fall down. So I'd say someone does alright out of firewood in a place like this. Having the dog on at least sort of makes you walk a bit faster, but I think, I don't know, she's like a little horse just pulling me along at a nice little speed until she decides to stop and smell something. So we're coming down to another pond now, and quite common in here to see ducks, pukeko, which is a New Zealand native bird, and of course you'll see geese, grey duck, mallard, all hanging around this area. Once again, it's a nice little haven for wildlife, and as I say, it's a bird sanctuary, so it's just a nice safe place for birds to feel free. They can just be safe here. A couple of little duckies there just enjoying the sun. We'll come out a bit more now. We'll come round, and of course we get to the old pond. There's another old road that goes down to some farm area there. But there's a little duck just sitting there enjoying the pond, and a couple of his mates hanging around as well, just having a bit of a splash around. A couple of mallard ducks there and a grey duck. And moving along now. Of course, I've got the good old New Zealand fern. Beautiful ferns they are. And we have the ancient walk bridge over here, which of course is a pond. I'm sure if I let my dog off here, she would be straight in the pond. As you can see, there's a lot of little wildlife here. Different little ducks and species of birds. I'm just having a bit of a rest. Minding their own business, really. Another white one over there. So yeah, it's actually quite good. There's the Taitua Aboretum. Bit of a map on where you're going and what to do. And in the meantime, we're going to go over the bridge now. Just have a look over the bridge. Have a bit of a pan over here. There's a pond. A few birds swimming today. And we'll come back up over here. Now if we just sneak through here quietly, dogs don't understand what quietly means. Oh, you'll see some birds sitting there just having a bit of a soak. Quite nice.